today's video, I'm going to talk about the case of Gabriel Fernandez. This case was actually suggested by one of you, but also one of my friends. This was a case that shocked me when I first heard about it. But before we start this video, make sure you're subscribed. You really mean the world to me if you subscribe to my channel, but only do it if you really like my videos. I post videos every Saturday, and if you want to suggest a case, you can reach out to me through the comments or through my social media. My Instagram and my Twitter will be linked down below in the description box. And I also have a TikTok account if you want to follow me on there for more content. But yeah, having all that said, let's just start this video. Gabriel Fernandez was born on February 20th of 2005 to Arnold Contreras and Pearl Fernandez in Palmdale, California. Shortly after birth, Gabriel was put in the custody of his great uncles on his mother's side, Michael Carranza and his partner David Martinez, and they raised him for 4 years. In 2004, when Gabriel was 4, he moved in with his grandparents because his grandfather didn't like the relationship between Michael and David, so Gabriel ended up moving with his grandparents. He lived with them until 2012 when his custody was given to his mother, Paul Fernandez, and to her boyfriend, Isauro. And Gabriel also had 2 siblings. So while living with his mother and her boyfriend, Gabriel was systematically abused and tortured. And the abuse included many things, such as eating his own vomit, eating cat litter and feces. How can a parent do this to their own kid? He was regularly beaten, which caused a lot of broken bones. He was burned in various parts of his body. He was shot in various parts of his body, including the face, with a BB gun. He was forced to wear female clothing. He was forced to sleep bound and gagged in a small cupboard. He was pepper sprayed, burned with cigarettes, given cold baths, and forced to eat expired foods. According to Gabriel's siblings, while he was being abused, his parents, because I don't even like to call these parents because they aren't parents, they're monsters, they were laughing. This happens many times. I've talked about here many cases about parents that abused and killed their children, and this still shocks me. Some people really don't deserve to have kids, and there's so many people that really want kids and they can have it, and that makes me really mad. And apparently Isauro abused Gabriel because he thought he was homosexual. He was just homophobic, and he decided to abuse the kid because he thought he might be homosexual. And as I said, Gabriel had 2 siblings, and he was the only one who was being abused. On May 2nd of 2013, Pearl called 911 to report that Gabriel was not breathing. So Gabriel had been beaten up by his mother and Isauro because he failed to clean up his toys. When first responders arrived, they found him naked, laying on the floor with several injuries, and Isauro explained to them that he was gay. Like that justifies what he just did to the poor kid. Then paramedics rushed him to the hospital, where doctors declared him brain dead. He passed away 2 days later on May 24th of 2013 at Children's Hospital in Los Angeles. The official autopsy declared that he died from blunt force trauma coincident with negligence and malnutrition. On May 23rd, Pearl and Isauro were arrested. Pearl was arrested for felony child endangerment, while Isauro was arrested for attempted murder. However, when Gabriel died, they were both charged with first-degree murder with special circumstances of torture. Pearl pled guilty on February 15 of 2018 to a charge as a part of plea guilty to avoid the death penalty, and she was sentenced to life imprisonment without the possibility of parole. And in the court, she stated, "I want to say I'm sorry for what happened. I wish Gabriel was alive. Every day I wish that I would have made better choices. I'm sorry to my children, and I want them to know that I love them." Now let's talk about her background. Pearl Cynthia Fernandez was born on August 29th of 1983 to Robert and Sandra Fernandez. During her childhood, her father was in and out of jail, and according to Pearl, her mother didn't love her and would hit her as a child. When she was 9, she started using drugs and drinking alcohol, and when she was 11, she decided to run away from home. And she also dropped out of school in the 8th grade. As a teenager, Pearl claimed that her uncle tried to rape her and that some men held her hostage for several days and would take turns to rape her, which led her to having suicidal thoughts while she was at the hospital recovering. Then she got pregnant with Gabriel, and when he was born, she abandoned him 3 days after the birth. And she also claims that most of her romantic partners, including Isauro, were abusive to her. However, her aunt Elisa Carranca and her husband claim that she falsely portrays herself as the victim. She says that she was the one being abused, while her aunt and uncle say that she was the one who abused them. She had been diagnosed with several mental health issues, including depressive disorder, development disability, a possible personality disorder, and post-traumatic stress. And a clinical psychologist said that Pearl is virtually unable to use thoughts to guide her behavior and control her emotional reactions. So currently Pearl is in jail at the Central California's Women's Facility. So now let's talk about Isauro, or Tony, as he was known as well. He was born on June 30th of 1918. He worked for the Woodland Park Retirement Hotel, and people describe him as a very nice and lovely guy. He was very down to earth. Everyone liked him. He said that he was very patient with the residents. Then in 2012 he worked for a security company, and that's when he met Pearl. Now let's talk about his trial. He pleaded not guilty. When the trial began, jurors were given the details about Gabriel's abuse. Prosecutor John Hatami called Isauro poor evil and argued that he deserved the death penalty, even though it doesn't even compare to what he did to Gabriel. His defense attorney argued that he was considered to be kind and compassionate during his employment at a retirement facility, and that he never committed a crime until he met Gabriel Fernandez. And on December 12th of 2017, he was sentenced to death. Now, before Gabriel died, he showed his injuries to teachers, security guards, and even though they called social services, they did nothing about him. So Gabriel was hit by a metal belt, and he walked up to his teacher, Jennifer Garcia, and asked her if it was normal to bleed. So she immediately called social services, and later Stephanie Rodriguez called her back and said that she was the one assigned to the case. On another day, Gabriel came to class with chunks of hair missing and with a lump on his lip. When questioned about it by his teacher, he said that his mother had punched him. So she went to the principal, and after having a discussion with them, she called Stephanie Rodriguez back, informing her of the recent signs of abuse. Then, when Gabriel was shot by a BB gun on his face by his mother, he told his teacher, and she again called social services. After Gabriel missed 13 days of school, he returned, and Jennifer noticed that his condition had worsened. So she called Stephanie Rodriguez, but she didn't answer the phone, and she never returned the call. And she was not the only one reporting the abuse. Gabriel's great-aunt Elizabeth Carranza and her husband called to social services 3 times and talked to sheriffs twice regarding Gabriel's welfare. Overall, between 2003 and 2012, 60 complaints were filed. 60 complaints were filed against Pearl and Isauro to the Los Angeles County Department of Children and Family Services. 2 social workers, Stephanie Rodriguez and Patricia Clement, and 2 supervisors, Kevin Baum and Gregory Merritt, were fired and charged with child abuse and falsifying public records. So, as we could see, many people knew about the abuse and didn't do anything. 60 complaints. 60. They did nothing. One thing about this case that made me really mad was like the reason that Isauro gave to the first responders on why he did what he did, because he thought Gabriel was gay. And even if he was gay, what's wrong? What's wrong? Nothing. Absolutely nothing. Being gay is just as normal as being straight. Being bisexual is just as normal as being straight. That's all normal. I wish people would understand that. It makes me really mad and sad that there are kids that are dying because people are homophobic. He was a kid. He had all of his life ahead of him. But because he had an homophobic stepfather, he's gone now. Homophobia literally killed a person. And I mean, Gabriel was not the first case, and unfortunately was not the last. There are so many people who got killed for the exact same reason, but this is the first case I have heard that was a kid. And I think that's why it shocked me more, because he was literally 8 years old. So I think that's all I've got to say for this video. Leave your thoughts in the comments down below. I really want to know what you guys think about this case. And if you're new here, please subscribe to my channel. I post videos every week. And if you want to suggest a case, you can reach out to me through the comments or through my social media. My Instagram and my Twitter will be linked down below in the description box. And as I said in the beginning, I also have a TikTok account if you want to follow me on there. I'm gonna try to post more on there, and I mean it. I just haven't had the time to do it, but I want to do it. So yeah, that's all for this video. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you on my next video. Bye bye.